Have you ever thought about those incredible adventures that might be hiding just around the corner? Imagine a trek so close to the famous town of Manali that you've probably driven right past its starting point without a second thought. It's a place that offers this world-class high-altitude experience, but somehow it gets completely overlooked. Today we're diving into a journey that really defies all expectations, the Bhrigu Lake Trek.
And that's really the big question, isn't it? It's the whole paradox of Bhrigu Lake. I mean, how is it so incredibly accessible, but at the same time, it throws this massive challenge at you, launching you into the high Himalayas faster than almost any other trail out there? It's a journey of intense effort, for sure. But the reward is even more intense, all tucked away right next to a place we all thought we knew so well.
That's right. You've got thousands of people flocking to Manali, for the cool cafes and the familiar sights. But just 25 kilometers away, at a place called Gulaba, a trail begins that opens a door to an entirely different universe. We're talking sacred lakes, unbelievably vast meadows, and towering snow-capped peaks.
And a gem in plain sight just perfectly captures the essence of this place. Because, unlike those remote expeditions that take weeks and weeks to plan, this spectacular adventure has been waiting for us, right under our noses, just a little way off those familiar roads of Manali.
And this isn't just one person's feeling. So many experienced trekkers say the exact same thing. They've driven that road to Rotong Pass countless times, looked out the window, and had absolutely no idea that one of Himachal's most stunning grassland tracks was just a few steps away. It's this shared feeling of, wow, how did I miss that really builds up the mystique around this journey.
But listen, don't let that accessibility fool you. This trek comes with a serious challenge. Make no mistake about it, the Bhrigu Lake Trek is not some casual walk in the park. It is a relentless, upward climb that demands your respect from the moment you take your first step.
And here's what really sets it apart from so many other treks. There's no warm-up. There's no gentle start. The second you leave the road at Gulaba, the trail just goes up, and it keeps on going up. It's this constant, steep incline that immediately starts testing your endurance and your will.
So the heart of the trek is really this intense 2-day push to the top. Day one is a pretty tough 6-kilometer climb from where you start all the way to the base camp at roadhead, which is already sitting at a lofty 12,000 feet. Then day two is your summit day, a steep 4-kilometer final ascent to the lake itself, which is way up there at over 14,000 feet.
Now, to put that into perspective for you, you're gaining about 2,000 feet of altitude every single day. That incredibly rapid gain is exactly what makes this trek so tough. It's a genuine test of your cardiovascular fitness, and you really need to come prepared because, believe me, your legs and your lungs are going to feel every single foot of that climb.
So when you see this trek rated as moderate, please don't mistake that for meaning it's technically simple. I mean, it is. There's no rock climbing or anything. But that moderate rating is all about the physical toll of that steep, non-stop ascent. It's a continuous climb that demands serious preparation and some real stamina. But for all that hard work, the reward you get is something truly extraordinary. And it's probably not what you're thinking it is. This is where the trek reveals its biggest and, honestly, its most beautiful secret.
Exactly. You hear the name Bhrigu Lake Trek, and naturally, you assume the lake is the grand prize at the end. But the real truth, the absolute soul of this journey, is something you encounter almost immediately. And it's something that stays with you long, long after you've left.
This right here is what sets Bhrigu Lake apart from almost every other trek in the Himalayas. It's the meadows. The grasslands are the real highlight. They are so spectacular, so vast and unforgettable that for many people, the memory of just walking through them completely eclipses the memory of the lake itself.
In the magic of these meadows, it's how quickly they appear. I mean, on most treks, you have to walk for days to reach the alpine zone. Here, you step out of the forest and into this open, rolling landscape within the first 20 minutes. As you climb higher, the grass actually changes texture, going from coarse to this soft, velvety feel. And if you go during the monsoon, they become impossibly green and just explode with wildflowers. It's an experience so grand it's often compared to the legendary meadows of Kashmir.
But of course, the journey does eventually lead to its destination, a place of incredible beauty and really deep spiritual significance. The final push to the lake is the trek's ultimate climax.
After the soft, rolling grasslands of roadhead, the terrain completely shifts. The air gets noticeably thinner and the path becomes much more rugged. You have to start carefully navigating through these sections of boulders,
and that final ascent becomes a true high-altitude challenge, leading you to this secluded basin where the lake just quietly rests.
And this lake, it's not just a body of water. It holds this profound story. It's named after Maharishi Bhrigu, who was one of the 7 great sages in Hindu mythology. The belief is that he meditated right on the banks of this very lake for a very long time, and his presence has made its waters sacred. It adds this whole other layer of reverence to the experience.
And the reward for getting to the top is just breathtaking. You're standing at over 14,000 feet, looking down at this sacred lake, and its color just shifts from emerald green to deep blue as the clouds pass over. The panoramic view is unbelievable. You can see the mighty Pir Panjal and Daladar mountain ranges stretching out in front of you, with famous peaks like Hanuman Tibba and Deo Tibba just piercing the sky. And on a clear day, the clouds are often below you, which creates this surreal feeling like you're literally on top of the world.
Now, one of the coolest things about this trek is how it completely transforms with the seasons. It's like 2 totally different experiences. If you decide to go in May or June, you're signing up for a winter adventure. There's going to be a lot of snow on the trail, so you'll need gear like microspikes, and the lake itself is often completely frozen over. But if you go from July to September, you get to see the peak monsoon beauty. The meadows are at their absolute greenest, wildflowers are everywhere, and all you need is some really good rain gear.
So if you're feeling inspired and you're thinking, I have to do this, let's just slow down for a second and wrap up with some crucial, practical info that you absolutely need to know before you even think about packing your bags.
All right, so here's the quick breakdown. We're talking a moderate difficulty, mostly because of that steep climb. It's going to take you about 3 to 4 days to do it right. You'll hit a max altitude of around 14,100 feet, and for those classic lush green meadows, the best time to go is from June all the way through September.
Okay, now for some really crucial safety stuff. First, water sources are hard to come by, especially after you leave the Rolla-Colli base camp, so you have to carry enough water for that entire summit day. Second, the weather up there is no joke. It can change in minutes from bright sunshine to hail. Third, and I can't stress this enough, that rapid altitude gain requires you to be fit and prepared. And finally, be careful on the trail. It can get slippery, and in the colder months, black ice can easily form.
And all of that means your gear is non-negotiable. You'll need solid, waterproof trekking shoes with really good grip. A reliable rain jacket and pants are an absolute must, I don't care what the forecast says. The sun is intense at high altitudes, so sunglasses and sunscreen are essential. A hiking stick will literally save your knees on those climbs and descents, and if you're going early in the season like May or June, snow spikes are critical for your safety.
In the end, Bhrigu Lake is so much more than just a trek. It's this powerful reminder that sometimes the most spectacular adventures aren't in some far-flung corner of the world. Sometimes they're waiting for us just beyond the places we think we already know so well. And it leaves us with this really fascinating question to think about. What incredible natural wonders are hiding in plain sight, right in your own backyard, just waiting for you to discover them?